Hello, everyone, and I'm Kazan Anasan from Dijon University, and I'm studying Department of English Language Teaching. I'm a junior, and welcome to the Digital Symposium on Linguistic Landscapes and Second Language Teaching and Learning. Today, my topic will be about airport signs as valuable English language teaching resources. Let's have a glance at the content of the presentation at the first place. Firstly, I will summarize my material in some sentences whose name is Get Ready for Takeoff. Airport Science as valuable English language teaching resources. And then we will talk about 3 sessions of the classroom, which is pre-activity session, while activity session, and post-activity session. And after that, we will talk about the practice of the project, the evaluation, the views of the candidates, and the experiences. While evaluating this project, 4 English language teacher candidates from Dijon University who are between 20 and 22 years old have been selected as the universe of this study. So they will be the ones who will evaluate my project according to some evaluation criteria. Okay, let's get started. Get ready for takeoff. Airport signs as valuable English language teaching resources. Firstly, I've chosen this topic because we are surrounded by so many airport signs around us. For example, when we visit an airport, we see so many signs there. So to understand the meanings and the translation of these signs, we should have an idea about these linguistic landscape markers. And also, I can clearly say that this material can be used for general English classes whose level will be A2, which is known as lower intermediate, and also for aviation English classes for a specific purpose. And my topic will be Get Ready for Takeoff, Airport Science as valuable language teaching resources. After using this material, teachers will be perfectly aware of the fact that these students will learn the target vocabulary related to the airport signs, and then the students can use the target vocabulary in reasonable context afterwards in their daily lives. And also, they will not have a problem about understanding the meanings or the translations of these words when they've seen, let's say, an airport sign when they visit an airport. And also, they will comprehend the importance of cultural aspects thanks to seeing the usage of linguistic landscapes in our daily lives. And they will be taught linguistic landscapes inductively. Let's get started with the pre-activity session. Firstly, the students will be introduced some of the target vocabulary related to the airport signs, which can be seen in the 3 photographs we have brought to our material. And also, as you can see in the target vocabulary session, the teacher will just introduce these vocabulary, and the students will have an idea about the vocabulary related to the airport signs, and we have categorized these words. So it's really easy to just learn about them. And we have some definitions, and these are appropriate for the level of A2 or lower intermediate. And also, if the students have difficulty in understanding the meanings or the definitions of these vocabulary, they can be given some sample examples or sample sentences to just understand it. And also, now we have the second part, which is known as observation through lead-in questions. Here, the students will just answer some of the questions, let's say, which go from the most general one to the least general one. So firstly, they will just share the experiences with us with the question, have you ever been to an airport? And last, they will talk whether they can draw an airport sign they have seen beforehand. And these are related to just to use, let's say, using L2 communicatively in our classrooms. This is the main part of the lesson, basically. So our first photograph comes from Chennai International Airport, India. So here the students will be taught some of the vocabulary which are really beneficial for them to understand these signs. For example, carpet, strictly and prohibited. So they will be introduced these vocabulary, and if they have any problems about understanding the definitions, then they can be given some sample sentences. And also here, after learning the vocabulary meanings, then the students will talk about the cultural aspects of the sign here. For example, do English and Indian look similar? So they will just answer these kinds of questions to understand the cultural aspects of linguistic landscapes. And also in the second one, we have a photograph which is from Iceland. So here, again, the students will be introduced some of the vocabulary which are related to the airport signs like business lunch. And also they're about to activate the background knowledge in their minds. For example, are business lunch and toilets in some directions? So they will just activate their background knowledge. And also we will just talk about whether this sign is creative or not. And our last photograph comes from, let's say, a general a general airport. And also, again, the students will be introduced some of the vocabulary like departures and arrivals and gates. And this can be used for, let's say, general English classes, but also we can just use it for aviation English classes by talking about the numbers of the gates here, like D32 or D49. And after that, after talking about these vocabulary, the students will just share their opinions with us, whether these signs are helpful for them or for the passengers or not. As a post activity, we have a bridging activity. Basically, I have designed 4 bridging activities, but the second one is the most inclusive one. That's why I will just talk about it. Let's say, its aim is to use English communicatively and also collaboratively in our classrooms. That's why we will just divide our classroom into some groups, and then the students will just, let's say, work in groups, and they will just design their own airport signs. And each representative from each group will come to the board and they will just draw the airport sign they have designed beforehand, and the best one will be the winner. So here we will just focus on the linguistic landscapes inductively, and also the students will use English collaboratively and communicatively inside the classroom. So this can be used as a bridging activity. While evaluating this project, as I said, 4 English language teacher candidates from the university have been selected as the universe of this study. So they will evaluate this study according to some evaluation criteria we have right here. Firstly, they will just answer whether these materials are suitable while we are integrating linguistic landscapes to our courses, and whether these materials are beneficial, and also whether these materials just integrating airport science and linguistic landscape successfully into our material, and also what they think about this plan in general. In general, they find the material really interesting, and they are in the opinion that it's very important to just integrate some photographs or some signs which are related to linguistic landscapes because it makes the course really understandable, it accelerates the learning pace, and also it really motivates the students, and also basically it makes it permanent in their minds. And also it's very beneficial to use different skills while we are integrating linguistic landscapes to our courses. And also it's very informative and useful while we are using linguistic landscapes, because it's far from, let's say, classical methods like grammar translation method, because we've been using so many visual elements while we are integrating linguistic landscapes. Let's talk about the experiences. Well, firstly, I especially owe my thanks to Dr. Osman Samas from Dijon University and to Dr. Steve Prismas from Texas Christian University, and also Ibrahim Oscar, who is the president, because they have encouraged us a lot along the process, and they motivated us a lot, and they really helped us out. So I'm very thankful for this. And also it's remarkably decent to be a part of this spectacular project, and I'm really delightful and thankful for this. And also I can clearly say that I'm looking forward to using linguistic landscapes in my lessons when I become a real teacher, because I will just integrate some visual elements I have seen here. And also I'm in the opinion that it really makes it effective while we are integrating some of the materials we have in our hands into our EFI classes. And it's really enjoyable to use, let's say, linguistic landscapes in our courses, because we use so many visual elements, and we use so many, let's say, different materials. So it's something various. It's not something classic. So I'm really thankful for this, to be a part of this marvelous project. Thank you for your listening to me. Take care and stay safe.